Terminator 2 is one of the most widely recognized and successful films in cinema history. It was a mega hit when it was released in 1991 and continues to be enjoyed by fans new and old. It's reflective of some of James Cameron's best work. But before we continue, remember,
get to the channel! Subscribe! Subscribe! Do it now! Do it now!
One thing I'd pondered through the years spawns from two scenes in the movie. The first scene takes place towards the beginning of the film in the bar. The Terminator walks into the bar in the buff amidst a confused and amused crowd. He sees his target and says,
"I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle."
One of the patrons laughs in his face and assaults him. Then all hell breaks loose. But the curious thing is, nobody dies, at least not on screen. The Terminator seemingly targets the patrons in ways that only disables them. Keep this in mind. Now fast forward to a later scene involving young John Connor lecturing the Terminator after a minor scuffle involving two well-meaning protein fans. At one point, one of the Good Samaritan dudes gets aggressive with Connor, who was being a rude, ungrateful little snot, honestly, and the Terminator steps in to do his job. Terminate. John stops him from shooting them, and after they scram, he lectures the Terminator, insisting that his protector not kill anyone, something he obeys hilariously when he kneecaps someone.
He'll live.
But the question is, before he received this instruction from Connor, why didn't he terminate the people in the bar who attacked him? It would seem any aggression towards the Terminator or his charge would trigger the kill switch in our beloved Austrian robot. Here's a theory, and it's only a theory. At the start of the movie, the T-800 is operating purely on its default programming. It hasn't yet received any commands from John. Since its mission is to locate clothes, weapons, and a mode of transport, it does only what is necessary to achieve those goals. The bikers in the bar are obstacles, but not direct threats to John Connor, who he has yet to meet. So the Terminator neutralizes them in the most efficient way possible without escalating to lethal force. This aligns with the idea that Terminators, despite being lethal machines, follow a calculated threat response system. If killing isn't necessary, they won't waste time or resources doing it. When John is in danger in the parking lot scene, the circumstances change entirely. The T-800 has now met John, who is its primary directive. The two Good Samaritans rushing toward John don't realize what is happening, but the Terminator sees them as potential aggressors, unintentional or not. The machine operates with cold logic. Threat to mission equals neutralization. The Terminator does not factor in human intent, only whether an action could interfere with John's safety. It doesn't have the wisdom or context of common sense. John has to provide this to him after the incident. Another subtle factor could be that the bar scene occurs before the Terminator is exposed to John's moral code. By the time the parking lot encounter happens, John has already expressed distrust and fear. He confides in the T-800 that the world is dangerous and disappointing. This could prime the Terminator to be more aggressive in his protective role, particularly in situations where time is limited. All in all, before future John Connor sent the Terminator back in time to protect himself, he gave it some specific instructions. These theoretical instructions were, number 1, prime directive is to protect John Connor. Number 2, terminate or disable threats to primary directive. If the second point above were programmed into the T-800, then it's a stroke of luck that the bar patrons were not murdered. The apparent inconsistency may not be a disparity at all. It could be a great illustration of the Terminator's cold logic and mission-based escalation of force. In the bar, it's securing supplies. Minimal force is needed. In the parking lot, its entire mission is at risk. Maximum efficiency required. The Terminator doesn't understand good guys or bad guys, or good intent versus bad intent. Only potential obstacles and threats to its mission. What do you think of the Terminator's methods and decision-making skills? Do you think this theory holds water? Leave a comment and check out the next video. You're going to like it.